I want to show you here how to modify the start screen. Later on I'll show you a little bit more personalization. First thing is we can drag any of these tiles around. So for example, I'll take this finance tile. Maybe I want to drag it over here and boom, there it is. If I want to drag it back, no big deal. You notice this little ghosted out dividing line there. Now I could also change the size of these. You notice that I've got some of these tiles are kind of small square size like these, and then I have some larger ones like those. And that's up to the software manufacturer. Some software manufacturers will give you a choice of large tiles and small tiles, some won't. Let's take a look at this one here, weather. I'm going to right click it, and you see down over here in this little pop-up taskbar, it says smaller, and I'll click that. Boom, and now it's smaller. Great, and now I can drag this around as well. If I decide I want it bigger again, I'll right click it and I'll choose larger, and there we go. The little menu on bottom will change depending upon what type of tile you click. So once again, let me right click weather, and here I can unpin it from the start screen. Maybe I never care about checking the weather here. If I choose uninstall, it'll do just what it sounds like. It'll simply remove the program from this computer. Live tile we'll look at also a little bit later, and you see over here on the right we have all apps. I'll come back to that in a minute. If I just want to get rid of this bottom menu, now I called it the taskbar before, that's really more a force of habit. The real taskbar is when we're looking at the desktop. So if I want this bottom menu to disappear, I could just right click anywhere on it and it goes away. Now what if I right click one of the tiles here from, let's say, Microsoft Word or Excel? When I do that, you notice that this bottom menu is a little different. I still have all apps at the right, that's always going to be there, but then we have a few other options here. And again, I can right click anywhere here and it goes away. Now what if I right click on the background itself over here? Now this is all blank on the left, but I still have this all apps on the right side. What's that all about? Well, let's click it. So I'll click that all apps, and now I can see these are all of the programs that are on this computer, not just a select few. You can see on the left side here, these are the built-in apps, and over here on the right, some are built-in and some are programs that I installed myself. There's too much to fit on this screen here, so I'll just roll the wheel on the mouse back and forth to move around. I could also use the scroll bar down and bottom. If you're doing this on a touch screen, you could simply take your finger and swipe back and forth. So I can start any of these programs just by clicking on them. Now if I want to get back to the main start screen, I could just right click anywhere in a blank area, and there's all apps. Click it, and I'm back to the main start screen again. So let's say I want to pin a few of those other programs to the start screen. I'll right click here, go to all apps, and I'll scroll over, and let's say I want Paint to be on there. So I'm going to right click it, and then down over here I'll choose Pin to Start. And maybe I want one or two others. Maybe I want the calculator, so I'll right click that and Pin to Start. Now again, I'll just right click anywhere in the background here, go to all apps, and here I've got Paint and Calculator, so I can run them right from here. I don't have to go and find them from that other big menu. If I decide later on that I don't want these pinned to the main start menu, here I can right click and unpin from start. By the way, when I have this over here, I can right click on Calculator as well. You notice that now Paint and Calculator both have a little check mark. So now when I unpin from start, it removes both of them. So that way if there's a whole bunch, I don't have to go through each one at a time. Now even though I'm not doing a lot of administrator functions in detail in this course, there's one thing you might want to see, and that is what if you want to show administrator tools on the start screen? Now keep in mind if you're in a corporate environment, you might need to get the permissions for this first. What I'm going to do is I want to go to the settings charm. So I'm going to roll the mouse pointer over on the right side, go up here, and I want to go to settings, so I'll click settings. And then up here I'm going to click tiles. You see it says show administrative tools. Right now it's set to no. I'll just flick the switch. And that's it. Notice there is no OK button or submit button or anything. You might be tempted to click this button, but that'll be clear. That's really not what we want to do. So you could just click the back button there, or you could just click on the empty page there. It doesn't matter. And now we've got all these administrator tools, and I'll scroll over here a bit. So all these different things. if you're looking at this and you say, gee, I don't really understand what these are, I don't think I need them, that's fine. You really don't need to show them. So let's get rid of them. Once again, I'll roll over the right corner, go up to Settings, go back to Tiles, and Show Administrative Tools. I'll turn that off. Just click on the background there. And now they're gone. You notice it might take a moment or two. One last thing about these tiles is you notice they're static. They're not moving around. There's no animation. That's something also that you can turn on and off. For example, weather, I'll right-click that. And you see it says Turn Live Tile On. I'll click that. That might take a moment or two, and it'll start telling me what's the weather in various parts. Or I could do this with Finance. I'll right-click Finance and turn on Live Tile. Now, you might need to go in to allow my location. Now it thinks I'm in Clinton Township, which I'm really not, but that's where the network connection is going through, and that's okay. So let's just close that. There we go, and now the weather tile is live. Now some of these tiles you need to go and use them at least once. You have to click them at least once for them to be able to be active. So let's go to Photos. And you can see here, this is the Pictures Library. I'll click that. And these are photos that are in the Pictures Library on my computer. Now, if you don't have any pictures in your Pictures Library yet, you can use the pictures that are in your class files in the Chapter 1 folder. Now, if you're not familiar with how to copy or move pictures around or any kind of files, don't worry, we'll get to that a little bit later. And you can simply just watch. So I can scroll through these pictures here. Again, I'm just using the rolly wheel on the mouse or using the little scroll bar on bottom. If you're doing this on a touch screen, you can swipe your finger back and forth. So here are a bunch of pictures. That's cool. Now I'm going to hit this little back button to get back. And here are other places where I might store pictures. That's not really important right now. You notice the Pictures Library tile is live even inside the Pictures app. I'm going to close the Pictures app, so I want to get back to the Start screen. Now on the Start screen, I'll right-click it. Now I can turn the live tile on, and now you can see that it's tiling, and it's simply scrolling through one picture after another. There we go. Some people find this distracting, and if you do, and you don't want these live tiles, you can simply right-click and turn the live tile off. So that's really personal preference. So you can have potentially photos, live, travel, finance, and all of these others kind of moving around and showing you what's going on. That could get a little bit busy, so at least now you know how to turn the live tiling on and off.